It's going down. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakha Kodash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of It's Going Down, being brought to you by the Spirit and through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. U.S. warned of winter blackouts. Now, I'm going to just come out and say it. This could be a staged event where the U.S. government ramps up the HARP program to drastically increase the weather's negativity impact upon the world. Or this could just be, because this is not the first time we've been warned of winter blackouts, but we must also take into consideration that earlier this year, Joe Biden said that this was going to be a cold, dark winter. Now, we don't know what he meant by that, but we know that in the month of December, I believe the 13th, they said that there's supposed to be a major event that's supposed to go down where basically the currencies become digitized or something to that effect. Where they're supposed to do away with paper cash and bring in the digital currency, which will be a major step to the Karagma, the MOTB, which is the CHIP. So, there are a lot of things could find behind these U.S. winter blackouts. So here it says, gas supplies to several states in the Northeast could shrink if the weather changes for the worse. The news outlet reports, citing grid officials. And what you see right here is you see a snow blizzard. Now, this could be a picture from last year, but we know that, through the use of the HARP program, the weather can be 2 times worse. The weather can be 5 times worse. It depends on how bad the atmosphere of the earth is. So it says New England could face blackouts in the coming months as more global shipments of liquefied natural gas, LNG, are being directed to Europe. The Wall Street Journal reported on Monday, citing power producers. According to the report, the surging liquid natural gas demand across the ocean amid dwindling gas flow from Russia puts the supplies needed to provide electricity to the United States northeastern region, including Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, in jeopardy. So you see, without the use of gas, these states here in the U.S. could be in jeopardy of not being able to provide electricity to these homes. And the reason why this would be a big deal to a lot of you people living in these states is because, nowadays, natural gas is not necessarily needed in order to provide fuel or warmth to your homes. We have something that is called a furnace. which is electronically powered through the use of electricity to provide a flame, which then gives off heat to the rest of the whole entire house. So if you ain't got no electricity and your furnace is unable to run, then you're unable to keep your house warm. And if you're not able to keep your house warm, a lot of things could come out of that. We're talking frozen pipelines, which can lead to water pipes being ruptured. It can lead to water issues. So a lot of things could come from electricity going out, especially in a very, very cold winter. It says these states have limited pipeline capacity and rely on LNG imports from abroad for more than a third of their gas supply during periods of peak demand. According to the Energy Information Administration, they also cannot buy U.S. produced LNG due to the Jones Act, which bans the movement of ships between U.S. ports. My. But anyways, Europe is also a much more attractive buyer for liquid natural gas suppliers than New England. According to the news outlet, while the European benchmark price for natural gas was over $100 per 1 million British thermal units, gas prices in New England rarely climbed above $30. Earlier this year, the governors of some New England states sent a letter to the United States Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm asking her to dispel the Jones Act and allow for domestic LNG imports to the region. However, there are no reports so far regarding a change in legislation. You know why there ain't no reports? Because they don't want anything to go for the better. And damn sure not for the US. Okay? We cannot forget about the fact that, the so-called elites, they have an agenda called a New World Order, right? Where they know they have but a short time, so they're beginning to do everything in their power to move towards that agenda, even if it means reduce domestic liquid gas imports, whether if it means less gas coming from other countries. See, they want to create the chaos, which that's exactly what they're doing. If you look at France, what do you see? You see people out there rallying. You see people out there protesting. And why is that? Because of the energy crisis that's going on. Because people down there in France are starting to feel the squeeze on the oppression that the country is bringing down upon its own citizens. With this gas shortage, the lack of gas, imports coming from Russia into that country. There's been a lot of gas cutbacks. And now, the newest thing that's coming out concerning France is the cost of living crisis, which is all stemming from what? The energy crisis going on in France. And this is all really due to the so-called elites wanting to create chaos so they can come with their solution. Okay? Novus Ordo Seclorum. Okay, which we must also remember Ordo ab chao, which you find on the back of your dollar bill, which is Latin for order out of chaos. So they're creating the chaos, and they intend on coming with their solution, which their solution is only going to be geared toward implementing more rules, more draconian laws, more legislations that would put them increments more closer to their New World Order society. So it says the situation in the region is expected to be especially dire if these are prolonged cold spells, as gasoline volumes will be redirected from power generation to heating homes. According to the ISO New England, the region's power grid operator, an extremely cold winter could result in the need for rolling blackouts. Okay, to balance the supply and demand for electricity. Analysts warn that supply shortages may also drive power producers to purchase gas on the spot market, which would result in larger bills. So, let me read this. Proverbs 29 verse 2. Just a moment. Well, here I can just read it from my phone then. So this is the book of Proverbs, right? Chapter 29 verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So, because the wicked is in rulership, the people are in mourning. The world is in mourning. The sea creatures are in mourning. The animals of the earth are in mourning. The insects are in mourning. The fowls of the air are in mourning. And as time passes on, things are not going to get better. Things are only going to get worse. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. It's on to the next one.